The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Xist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.
Well, happy Wellness Wednesday. Good morning. Welcome into the show. I'm your host, Monica Adams. And yes, our mind, our body, our spirit, let's get us well. How you feeling today? You feel good and stretched? You get up in the morning, do you just bounce out of bed and you pull a muscle? We're going to talk with Tricia Rhodes from Xist Stretch today. If you haven't been in, we've been talking to others that have, and even when they go in that very first time, I had a client that went just a couple of days ago, and she said, initially I didn't know if I felt any difference. Then she went to her chiropractor and she was like, interesting. The areas where he normally adjusts her and it normally hurts her, she's like, it didn't hurt. So maybe it worked. And I was like, yes, it's not maybe for some an immediate. For others, it is. For Jim, it was an aha moment. The gym was stretched by Tricia just a couple of weeks ago. And we've always known that one of his legs was a little bit longer than the other. And she was showing it right there. I mean, look at the difference there. And as I mentioned, that really throws everything off from your hips to your knees, your spine, your neck, etc. And then by the end of that 30-minute stretch, she had him back even, which means it's going to go back, right? So you've got to get on the table more. They have an incredible offer coming up for America's 250th birthday. Wait till you hear about that. So we'll be discussing this with Tricia coming up on this morning's show. Good morning to all of you. I'll look at the comments here in just a second. We want to get into some weather and some news you can use. Yesterday, I hope you had a chance to enjoy. Wow, what a gorgeous day it was. Next week, it is going to get significantly warmer. So we will start things off with weather, first of all, for all of you that are getting ready to make plans as you head into the rest of today and into the weekend. Here's what you can expect. 83, and then today we do have a 40% chance of rain and storms. Now, tomorrow and Friday, our friends over at KMOV are making those first alert weather days. Some afternoon storms likely on Thursday and on Friday that could be severe. A high on Thursday of 85, and then Friday 84. You can see we have the Cardinals in town for a stretch from today through Sunday, so hopefully the weather won't cancel those games. Saturday, a 50% chance of rain and storms and a high of 86, and then a look at the weather from Sunday through Friday of next week, 95 on Sunday, and it's dry, by the way, from Sunday all the way through Friday as we get ready to get into July. 97 already on Monday and Tuesday, significantly warmer, and this is when we really start talking about taking care of yourself. If you are going to be doing your activities, make sure you do them early or later. And this is just a good rule of thumb for all of you that take care of your landscaping and your flowers. They don't like you watering when it is in the hottest part of the day. So get the watering done also early morning or later in the afternoon. All right, let's get into some news you can use. And we start off first in St. Francis County and a plane crash. The plane hit a fence during an emergency landing in the St. Francis County area, and it happened about 10:20 in the morning yesterday near the Bismarck area. Authorities say that the plane struck a fence during the landing. Fortunately, no one was injured. The FAA has been called to investigate further. Again, that's all the information that we know right now, but if you know anybody that lives in St. Francis County, they heard a lot of sirens yesterday around the Bismarck area. That was the reason why. I realize there's a couple of stories I wanted to do updates for you on. We talked so much about the hantavirus for a while, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went away. So what happened to all those passengers? Well, the quarantine has come to an end for the last of the passengers in Nebraska. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Service officials confirmed the end of the quarantine. The last 8 American passengers had to endure that for 42 days in a specialized hospital quarantine unit after the exposure to that unusual outbreak on the cruise ship that did kill 3 people, and they did now leave that Nebraska facility. Well, I'm not sure if you heard me say, but I will be going to Las Vegas in just a few days with a dear friend of mine. And we said we weren't going to play the slot machines, but after reading this story, I might have to rethink that. After only 3 minutes, a man won a $10 million slot jackpot after playing for just 3 minutes at the Westgate, which is actually just off the strip. So sometimes it probably makes sense to go to some of these hotels that aren't the mega ones, right? The ones that everybody goes to. The unidentified tourist is from Atlanta. Atlanta and was said to have won a jackpot worth $10,292, actually $10,292,912.32 while playing an IGT Megabucks machine at the Westgate Las Vegas Hotel Casino. The casino described the payout as one of the largest slot jackpots ever awarded at the Westgate, and the guest again was only playing for about 3 minutes. A $5 wager triggered a multi-million-dollar prize. The problem is so many people think that they're going to win, and then they keep playing and lose a lot of money. But wow, there we go. Bucking the odds for sure. Okay, Amazon Prime Day. This is where you can win. It's already kicked off and it goes through the next couple of days. All the websites I'm going to have like, here's our best 100. Here's the top picks. Here's as you can see here, 60% off Apple, Adidas, Hanes, Shark. This is from Amazon Shopping. And so if you didn't take advantage of it yet, it will go through the 26th. And I was looking at it this morning. I don't usually get pulled into it, but I have for a while now wanted to buy one of those. You tell me, do those little robo vacuum cleaners, do you think they work well when they go over carpet? Because I would love to be able to not have to constantly be vacuuming. So I'm almost willing to pull the trigger on one of those. But again, if you haven't taken advantage of it yet, it is underway. And I did see some pretty good deals, like 50 and 60% off. So I'm not usually one to support big boxes and Amazon Prime when I'm more about small businesses. But hey, I do want you to save money. So maybe you want to take advantage of that. Okay, continuing on in the news. Anne Hathaway, one of my favorite actresses. Congratulations to her. She is pregnant with her third child. Have you seen Devil Wears Prada 2 yet? If not, I highly recommend you see it over and over and over again. It's one of those sequels that they did a really good job on. So the Mother Mary star shared a video on her Instagram last Friday announcing the pregnancy. The Devil Wears Prada and Prada 2 star shares her sons with husband Adam. She is focused on her family as she prepares to welcome her third baby. And she said she's grateful for where she is in her career and for the opportunity to be part of a film that means so much to so many people. She's 43 years old, and she already has Jonathan, a 10-year-old son, and Jack, a 6-year-old son. Are you a fan, by the way, of Anne Hathaway? Let me know. I think she's an incredible actress. All right, let's get into some sports news, and we've got a lot for you today. All right, all my hockey fans, and I know there's a lot of you out there. Did you see the trade yesterday? The Blues traded Jordan Kyrou to the Washington Capitals for 2 players and a first-round pick. That was announced late yesterday afternoon, and it closes a chapter on Jordan Kyrou's career in St. Louis. Over 8 seasons, by the way, he recorded 378 points. He had, however, been the subject of recent trade rumors. And again, if you don't know more about who we're getting, center Connor McMichael, 25 years old, played in 78 games for Washington last year. And then the other is prospect Milton Gastrin, who is 19 years old and played for the Swedish Hockey League. And then again, we'll get a 16th overall pick in the NHL draft on Friday. All right, baseball news. I just mentioned that the Cardinals are in town from Wednesday for the next several days. Well, they played yesterday against Arizona and unfortunately lost 4-3. It's the Diamondbacks at Busch Stadium against the Cards, 6:45 this afternoon. I've been watching the World Cup like crazy, super excited for everything that's going on, excited about tomorrow night's late game. And I don't know if you've seen this, but this is really going to make it exciting. And there is a new World Cup tiebreaker rule that will turn this one into an extremely exciting game. Here's the breakdown for you. The U.S. has already secured 6 points and a +5 goal differential by beating Paraguay and Australia. Turkey entered the match with 0 points and already eliminated because head-to-head is now the first tiebreaker for teams tied on points. Under previous World Cup rules, Turkey could have still qualified by finishing third based on the goal differential. Now, Australia and Paraguay each have 3 points with goal differentials of 0 and -2 respectively. So FIFA's new rule makes the head-to-head the primary tiebreaker for teams level on points. The goal differential is used only if head-to-head is equal. So what does that mean? That's going to be an exciting game and really come down to the fact that hopefully there's no tiebreaker. Again, as I mentioned, tomorrow night, it is a late game, 9 p.m., and I've just been looking all over the internet of where people want to go watch it. We've been talking about Amsterdam, that bar has actually always been packed, but where would you watch soccer? If you're a big soccer fan like I am, where would you go and watch it tomorrow night? Because that is a late great game for sure. And then I saw this yesterday. I actually saw him being interviewed. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest players. He becomes the first to score in 6 World Cups as he had 2 goals against Uzbekistan. So congratulations to him. All right, on our National Day of calendar, it is National Take Back the Lunch Break Day. What? Hey, we need a longer one. National Pralines Day, National Patch Day. Girl Scouts love that, right? I always put them all over your sash or all over your jackets. National Parchment Day. And if you want to, and I think you might with how hot the weather is, National Swim a Lap Day. We gave you a lot of information in a very short time. I also want to show you something from one of our sponsors. So we've been talking on Mondays and Fridays about Fenton Family Dentistry. You've heard them on our show. In fact, I am going to re-air one of their shows on our Medical Monday. So those of you that missed out on the story behind Dr. Jessica, who is deaf but has 2 cochlear implants, and you would never ever guess it. We talk about her overcoming and becoming this incredible dentist. If you missed that, we're going to re-air that on Monday for our Medical Monday. But we also have talked to Coach Abe, or Abraham, her husband. We also met his father. So we've done Testament Tuesdays, Medical Mondays, and then I wanted to incorporate him on a Wellness Wednesday. He's talked about how he has become a champion with regards to his weightlifting. Well, this video he sent me the other day just proves that age is just a number. Take a look at this. Oh, yeah. Drop it just like that, like a pro. I told him he is a leader, and I wanted to show that. So, Abe, way to go. Keep being a leader and showing others that absolutely age is just a number. Just keep fighting and get in the gym. You may not be lifting that heavy of a weight, but do not let anything stop you. Now, I do want to address that with Tricia Rhodes from Xist Stretch. When we lift like that, could we do that and never stretch? That'll be my very first question for her. Good morning to all of you. I'll look at comments in just a second. We're going to take a quick break, and Tricia Rhodes will join us when we return. You guys, are we ready to raise some big money tonight? $25,000. And $25,000 right here.
It's yours for $2,100, nipple, whoa. And that is how it's done.
$75,000, $75,000 that quick.
Monica Adams is smart, disciplined, polished, and extraordinary.
She comes with enthusiasm.
This is what I love. Whenever we are bidding, it is always to see who you get to be involved with.
It is a great time. It is equally entertaining as it is advantageous for fundraising.
Get ready to scream your heads off, because this is going to be a lot of fun.
She brings so much energy and so much passion, and she's a delight to have as part of our IWA family.
We're bidding at $1,000, and we'll go from there. $1,500, $15,000, $3,000. Yes, there we go. Yours for $4,500. Sir, if you will also give me $4,500, you can also go, and there's $9,000. There it is! $9,000, right like that.
She is so engaging and energetic, and she just brings a spark to any event she's part of.
I so appreciate the teamwork. After 5 seconds, I feel like we're best friends. I can tell she is a team player, and she really wants to advocate for the organization.
Truly, you have the most incredible energy, and of my 15 years of auctioneering, you are one of my favorites.
I hired Monica Adams because she is full of energy, she always comes prepared, and she's the real Monica Adams. One of the things that I love about Monica is her ability to put a room very quickly at ease. She also is a very passionate individual, which comes across really well on stage, also one-on-one with her. She can set a crowd at ease so quickly. She has a very spunky personality and such a go-get-'em attitude. I really look up to her in a lot of ways.
Monica, I really love the way you run this auction. I really do. You give them every opportunity in the world, and then it's all...
It's off the plate.
Please consider Monica Adams as your auctioneer.
Unbelievable.
To hire Monica Adams as your auctioneer, email info@therealmonicaadams.com.
Well, welcome aboard. And I want to thank all of our sponsors that have a role in putting this show on. So we're going to put this on the crawl that goes across the screen. And just do me a favor and support all of those that support us. Because again, 3.5 years in, over 800 shows, we couldn't do it without them and without you watching every morning and then sharing this and letting others know that they need to wake up to positivity. And I mentioned Fenton Family Dentistry. If you haven't been in yet, by the way, incredible dentist. I love the fact that Beckett Moore, they are sponsoring our What the Weather segment, that Beckett has had a chance to go in, and he was like, wow, it really is amazing. From Dr. Jessica being an incredible dentist to Coach Abe being an incredible leader in many ways in the industry, but also with regards to how he motivates. So if you're looking for a dentist and you're like, my dentist is okay, I don't have an allegiance to them, I would suggest that you check them out. They're really, truly incredible. The entire staff, I went in and I was like, wow, just everything about it. You know what? Beckett's mom even said, she's like, it's just so clean in there. And that's what you would want when you're getting your teeth cleaned. You would hope that the office space is as well. And then you've got the extra bonus of a dog. I mean, come on. Augie is there as a regular staff member as well. Fenton Family Dentistry, located again on Old Smizer Mill Road. Check them out online at Fenton Family Dentistry. Well, I was mentioning Coach Abe is an incredible weightlifter, power lifter. And so I showed that video and I was like, very first thing I'm going to ask Tricia is, can we do that and not stretch? Probably not a good idea. Tricia Rhodes, she is with Xist Stretch, again, FST certified therapist, and they all are, and they're incredible. If you've been in, by the way, I'd love for you to drop in a comment of how it's already changed your life. But probably not a smart idea, right? To just lift, and never stretch?
Not smart at all.
So, Abe, you need to get in and get stretched. Because, again, it's just that constant pounding on our body and never giving it that release and break, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You need, I would say, the break of constant pounding on the back, the shoulders. Yeah.
Well, you saw how he just pulled that back behind him. And I'm like, first of all, incredible. Anytime I've ever seen a power lifter.
More power.
And then I see a lot of women do it as well, and younger girls that have gotten into it. Yeah. So, yeah, I've never done anything like that.
It's a vibe.
It is, absolutely. But, a lot of people that do CrossFit, they do those kind of moves as well. Mm-hmm. So today we want to talk about you kind of just going back and revisiting something when we first introduced you to Tricia, because a lot of people ask, who should be going in and get stretched? Mm-hmm. Well, it's all of you. And when we talk about athletes, like we just showed with Abe, it is changing the game for you in so many ways, right? And I mean that by your own game. There's so many benefits to it. So as you're tuning in, if you have any questions for Tricia, or as I mentioned, if you've been in already, I would love for you to drop in a comment for us. First of all, don't you love the fact that we're repping your brand?
Yeah, it just kind of happens
Orange,
like that.
black.
Yeah. and we don't coordinate it.
We did not. I was like, I'm going to be comfy today because I know that Tricia's going to be
you
comfy.
You do look comfy, though. Yeah.
I just bought these comfy soft pants. So if you see me doing this constantly, it's because they're new. And I'm like,
texture is fantastic.
So let's just start with that question. People that have not seen us talk about this before, and again, they don't understand. And I really do believe I just want to get everybody on the table so they understand it.
Yeah.
I've had clients that have heard me talk about it. One that just went in. She can't wait to get into you, but she went into Tim. And her comment was, I didn't know, because she's got really tight hips. And she's got some issues with her knee and with her ankle. And she's like, I didn't know if I felt a difference. But then she went to the chiropractor. And when she normally goes to the chiropractor, and when he pushes on different areas or adjusts, it hurts. And she's like, oh, I realized it didn't. That was an aha moment. Maybe that meant that the stretch helped. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. It's hard to describe. And it's like I talk with you to be like, I don't know what more to say or how to say it because you just need to get on the table. Yeah. I even give people an example. When I did it, I've stretched for years. I've stretched people for years. I'm pretty flexible. I'm not elite, but I'm pretty flexible. And when they first performed on me, I keep explaining to people, I was like, I feel great. It wasn't till a certain movement a day later or waking up and realizing, I can turn my head further than I did before. That was my aha moment. It wasn't like immediately right then and there because you're waiting for these big fireworks to happen and just a solve to any problem. Right. It isn't. And then and everyone's reaction is different. Some people feel amazing right away. And again, it takes maybe a day or two until a specific movement or just that pull and release of the bar, you know.
Well, and I think for many athletes, suddenly they're like, oh, I can do a little bit more. I'm stronger, or my range of motion is different.
Right.
You think of the sport. Let's just use all these kids getting ready to play baseball and softball. I went by the Diamonds the other night, and I'm like, yeah, you think of those kids. So it's the same thing. Get the younger generation and our seniors in, because as we get older, then we're talking about sedentary lifestyles.
Right.
Right. And they need to get up out of that chair, and they need to move, because that's exactly how they feel, that aching back. So you're trying to take care of moms and dads. You're trying to take care of your grandma and grandpa. They should get in as well. I think maybe the older generation, Tricia, do you feel like they're a little fearful because they feel more frail?
Yeah, the brittleness feeling of it, and the I guess if you're not sure of the unknown, you're not unsure of what I'm actually going to be doing to you, or Tim, or you don't know. So, and the fear of that alone brings them to question why they need it. So I've had their wives talk their husbands into it. Their husbands actually talk their wives into it and lay down. And you can see sometimes they're just like
apprehension.
Yes, and just afraid to move or moving with me because they don't know. I'm like, just relax, just relax.
It's hard. It's the same thing. Look, what you all remember the very first time you ever had a massage, or how many of you out there have not had it? Because again, it's an unknown. People also, this is better, I would think, though. Well, never mind. I don't want to say that. They're all great. For some people, they don't like the idea of getting
Someone's hands on,
for massage, right?
Yeah.
But it's to your own level. Eventually, I remember when I was like, I used to be going in a sports bra and I would have shorts on. Then I'm like, no, you can't really get in unless I do disrobe.
Yeah.
With this, you're not. You're in workout clothes, something flexible for them to be moving you around. Now, I came in that one day and I had one of those cute skirts on. I'm like, oh no, there's shorts underneath.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be taking your legs in all these different places.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are the benefits? So why stretching? We're going to give this breakdown, and I want this for you to really look at as we're talking about this. Deeper flexibility. So Tricia just said that she may not be elite, but she's flexible. I'm not going to say that I would be in anywhere near the same boat as you.
But the one thing about it is there's a starting position. The why we stretch and assisted stretching is to get a little bit further than you're able to you don't even know. And I had a gentleman yesterday, third time, where I'm like, progressing is great. Maybe you don't realize it, but I realize it more so, not just because of the muscle, but the range of motion that I'm getting from you. Here are some exercises for you to continue with as far as gravity. Now, there's going to be a separation because gravity is just going to let you go until where it is. I'm
able to take it beyond.
Take it beyond that. And I'm showing. He's like, oh, okay, now I get it. So when I go, this is what you're feeling. So you're like, oh, I'm not getting any better, but I am pushing you, so I know you're getting better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when they do that, it's not hurting. And I actually asked that question to Jim. I said, Jim, can you tell your brothers and sisters in law enforcement how important it is for them to get in here? And I said, and tell them it doesn't hurt. And he was just being a brat, right?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, oh yeah, it hurts.
Mr. Jokey.
Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt. And he said, in fact, it feels good. I keep showing that video of how you were looking at his one leg longer than the other. And it was pretty eye-opening. It was pretty significant. I don't know, have you seen worse than that?
Around that time, unless somebody needs a lift to be, but
true.
Yeah, but for the most part, there is an average of a little significant, maybe less than an inch, as far as
his is
between
at least.
left and,
I've measured him for custom suits before. His is at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch.
Yeah,
and depending on that, it might have been even worse. She showed it to me once we were done. Put those feet right back together, and he's like, she was just holding him different. It's got to be like a magic trick.
No. First of all, let me check the hips on the table when we go, just to make sure it's not. And I can tell sometimes where I'm like, I just been working on them for 20 minutes. Why is it? I'm trying to get, and then I look up, I'm like, I'll push. I'm like, okay, we're good. Thank God.
But I want to stress this. As you do this, it doesn't mean that she did it on that day and then never again will it go back to where one is longer than the other. Yes, it will. By the pounding, kind of like what we were just talking about. And he works out and he lifts heavier. So if it's the constant push, and never a release, then you're going to go back to that. And then tell everybody when you have something like like that, and look, they're even.
Yeah.
The magic trick.
Yeah, it is.
When it's back like that, it's relieving pressure on every aspect, because if your body is like this, tell them what happens when we're out of alignment.
It could be several things. Basically, let's just start from your neck, because when your hips are off, you are going to move in that position, and then it's going to just, like you said, you have issues with like looking, and that could actually make it worse to a sideline, a different, where you have tension, you have headaches, the desk slouch, because you're conforming to that shape, lower back, I call them wings, as far as how it just, you have to have this rotation. It's just tight, stiffness, aches, sciatic begins.
And there you go. I was waiting for you to say that. He had horrible sciatic. He said it's one of the greatest pains he's ever been in, and it lasted for a while.
I was probably the number one why people come in, because they've tried so many issues, and they're like, it just keeps happening. I can't. I'm like, okay, let's figure this out.
I'm going to hashtag sciatic when we take a break then, because I need people who have that to understand that this will relieve that. In fact, one of the things that I learned many, many years ago when I was studying sports medicine, and it was such an aha moment for me, how many people go through life believing that they actually have knee issues when instead they have a very tight IT band. Okay, that would be another reason for you to get in, to relieve the pressure and the pain you're feeling on the outer part of your knee, when in actuality, this is all tight as it wraps around in towards your glute. And they don't even realize that.
But it's all family. Your whole body works as a family, and one thing like pinballs to something else, but anything around the hip area, it's all related. So knee, hip, IT, sciatic, SI, all of this, the what with the fascia is surrounding all of it. So even if maybe you're dealing with just a small thing, the fascia stretch therapy relieves a minor thing, which snowballs into something greater down the line. So that's why I don't understand why people don't come in to get assisted stretching.
Here's the deal. We're going to get you in because you have one heck of a deal coming up for them.
Oh my God. It's like the biggest deal.
You sent that flyer to me last time.
Did you just fall off your chair?
Yes, but I didn't want to hurt myself. I did. I actually said it to Jim last night. I'm like, look what they're running. So this is for America's birthday, and happy birthday to all of you. Look at this. July 1st through the 3rd. What? That's $25 a stretch.
Stretch-tacular sale. It's $25 a stretch, 10 for $250. It is an amazing sale for 3 days. Come in, bring and run, and get the best sale of the year.
So let me ask this. For anybody that just took advantage of the Father's Day special you had, it doesn't matter, right? They can just keep adding on these packages? Okay.
That is the benefit of our sales. You never know when it's going to come, so run.
And those 10 can be used over...
It stays on your account.
Okay, I think a lot of you needed to know that, because some people feel like, oh, do I have to use them all in a certain time frame?
No, I have members that pay monthly and buy any of our specials, so they have those
add on to it.
stretches on their account. And so one in particular gentleman just bought some for the Father's Day, and he's like, okay, now I want to do an hour on Thursday, and then
'cause you can put it together.
I can come. Can I come twice this week? Yeah.
So that in actuality, you're getting 11 for $250 because you get your first one free.
Yeah.
Okay, now. That's it. Drop the mic. We're going to go to the break. All of you, if you do not take advantage of this, something is wrong with you. That is crazy inexpensive. Oh, I do want to say this, though, because I had a friend that reached out online. You can't buy the packages online.
No.
So you have to call?
Yeah,
call. Or ideally go in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to give you the information. 2 locations. One of those is inside of Xist Fitness in the Arnold area, located off of Vogel Road, or Xist Stretch in the St. Louis Hills area on Hampton. XistStretch.com, just to know information. But again, can't say it enough, you cannot buy the package online. So call one of those locations. Buy it for yourself. You can buy it for a gift for somebody. At Xist Stretch on social media, just so that you can pass this along to everyone. But start telling everybody, okay, I've been hearing about this for the last few months with Monica and Tricia.
This is the first you're hearing of it, because we haven't displayed it.
Yes. And again, so it's July 1st. It's not available just yet. July 1st, which is what, next Wednesday?
Wednesday through.
Okay. So next Wellness Wednesday, from the 1st through the 3rd. Take advantage of this before we get into America's birthday. All right, bring your questions to the table. Anything that you've been struggling with that you think, will this help? The answer is probably going to be yes.
Yeah.
Yes, across the board. More with Tricia Rhodes when we return.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. Relax with your family or friends, or with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show on this Wellness Wednesday. Exactly. Julie Fabian just said, wow. Yes, every one of you should be saying wow and running to get that. Again, it's available next Wednesday through next Friday. So put it on your calendar, save the date, take advantage of it. Don't miss out on it. We'll remind you again next week. So the 1st through the 3rd. 10 for $250, which is just unheard of, folks. They've not done a special like this. So this is all to celebrate for America's birthday. By the way, Chuck, is it Vunatic? Good morning. I don't think I've spoken with you before. Okay, I asked this before. This is also another thing about, we think of everyday housework and the vacuuming and then moving everything around, which also pulls our back out.
Right.
Do you have a robo that like to help out at home? I want to get one on this Amazon Prime thing that's going on right
I got
now.
one for my daughter, but it's just.
Does she like it?
No, loves it.
And
Loves it.
it goes over carpeting and picks up dog hair and everything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Christian just said, I love mine for carpet and hardwood. Saves me with the dog hair and makes me happy because I don't always have time to vacuum. And it makes straight lines. Oh, that's an even bigger bonus. Okay.
That's an OCD thing.
Yeah, exactly. Carla, good morning, ladies. Wow, what a wonderful deal. I have severe sciatica pain.
Oh, yeah. It's everyone usually.
So, Carla, my question is, have you been in yet? Have you gone in for the free stretch? My client, Becky, again, as I said, went in the other day. Janice has been into you. Anne's been into you. But now, all of my other clients, they literally hear me regularly in our sessions go, they're like, oh, I've got this. And I said, have you been stretched yet?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
the
it
very first
should.
thing out of my mouth. So we talked about deeper flexibility. Okay, now reduce tension and pain. So I'm going to go into all of us athletes, and then you compound this by having an injury, whether it's an injury that you have from your game, or maybe you were in a car accident like I was, maybe you had a fall. Then it is not living in that pain for the rest of your life. Because I think, unfortunately, so many people are like, oh, I'll never be the same again.
Yeah, and I think more so is because usually after an injury, you rest and then it kind of subsides. But then the PT is hard because you're literally trying to break up that fascia. You're trying to restore your mobility, pliability in the muscle, and it's hard. I get it. Like I've done it. The one thing about it is the stretching is like working on that fascia to break up any scar tissue, but increase the circulation. Once you get that blood flow and increased circulation, that's where the healing really happens. Yes. And that's where, if you can reduce the swelling and inflammation, that's where you reduce your pain.
It's the beginning of it, folks. And just understand that, yes, as you get in, it is not a one and done. It is not like she's going to be this miracle worker on the table for 30 minutes for whatever it is you're going through. Because she doesn't know how long you have been dealing with that pain. And if there's a bunch of scar tissue that has, think about all of you that have had surgeries. I remember having my surgery on my shoulder, and there were 2 little knots of scar tissue in the back where the scar is in the back. And the doctor said, if you can have somebody work on that for you every day. And I'm like, yeah, nobody's at my house. I wasn't with Jim at the time. I'm like, teach my dog its little paws.
Yeah,
to help me
exactly.
out. But if I would have loved to have had you back then, because no matter what I was doing, first of all, I was just tight trying to come back with the range of motion from the car accident. And then it was, oh, now I got scar tissue.
My scar tissue was my C-section for my children.
Right. Yep.
It took me a little while, but the stretching and abdominal work, and it was the craziest release when it did happen. It felt like I had broken. I thought I had to go back to the hospital because I was like, what just broke in my stomach? But
it was like a snap.
It's kind of similar to when I am stretching somebody, and we're talking about small little adhesions in the fascia, but it's that rubber band effect. So the look on people's faces when they feel it as I'm feeling it, they're like, did you just feel that? I'm like, yeah, I did. They're like,
there's your release.
Like, you're okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's that fascia. It's those bands just kind of separating and releasing.
Yep.
And they're like, and then even Graham yesterday, I was on his scapula, and I'm just pulling and stretching through his fascia, and he goes, was that your hand or was that me? I go, that was you, bud.
That is your body saying thank you and opening up
exactly.
its speech to you. We did say it, but Kristen, no problem, because again, people are signing in left and right. She said, you probably said this, but are these 30-minute sessions? They are, unless you want to put two together and you can have a 60-minute. And sometimes you may want to. So yes, if you have 10 of these that you buy during that special, then you can put two of them together and do an hour session.
Yeah. And a lot of times the question is, what's the difference between 30 minutes an hour? Well, normal when you come in, we address what the issue is or what do you want to concentrate on. But we go through specific movements and usually the full fascia as far as from head to toe, working on the whole body. But when someone says, I'm going to do an hour, it's slow progression, and then or we can really hone in on what the issue is. Like something, if it came in for an hour and you're like having issues with your neck, we will give you that full fascia because everything works together, but then we'll concentrate on that area for a little bit longer.
So again, if you have not been in yet, the other part that I want to talk about, which I could feel it last night, this is why, when people ask how often should I get in, and we've discussed that before, it just depends on what you're going through.
Yeah,
you
and
may
what
want
your
to come
daily
in weekly.
activity is, yeah.
Yep, or it might be once a month. And again, there's beyond the package of the 10 for $250 that they're going to run during the holidays. Some of you may want to do the membership, and maybe it is for you to get in twice a month or multiple times because of how you're feeling. So these are the memberships, by the way, outside of the big special. These are the regular ones. They're called Maintain, Believe, Empower. What does that say? Improve, and repair.
Yeah.
So Maintain, Relieve, Improve, Repair. From $89 to $349, those are the regular memberships. But this 10 for $250, take advantage of that. And then if you say, wow, this is really life-changing for me, then you can start getting into those memberships after that fact. But again, Carla, I love the fact that you said you have severe sciatica pain. You don't have to continue with it though. This will absolutely help you. So Carla, everybody else, take advantage of it. Sleeping, let's get into that aspect. So that is when our body is supposed to rest and recover. And for so many people, I want you all to be honest right now. I did not sleep well last night. I was up at multiple times at 2:30. My dog had to go to the bathroom, even though she went to the bathroom before we went to bed. Because Jim always goes, "Why don't you put him to bed? Why don't you put him to the bathroom before you go to bed?" I'm like, I did.
Yeah.
And now here she goes again. So I was up at 2:30, and then just for a lot of women going through perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, for some reason it's that 3 a.m. wake up call. I mean, literally, it's like your brain just wakes up. Oh, what didn't I do? What's on my list today? Right? We all know if you're right there with me. So be honest. How many of you right now say, that's me, or say, no, I didn't sleep well last night? And then tell me if you're in the same boat as me. Or maybe you're one of them that you've got the handle on it and you're doing really, really well. This will help us sleep better, rest better, right?
It's a down regulation of everything that you've gone through. That's why for anyone with a high stress job, you're thinking, oh, no, I'm okay. You're not thinking of the just your wellness in mind, spirit. It really relaxes you. I mean, I've had people just have like an emotional release because they've never been in that calm state before, and it's just overwhelming that you get vulnerable into that position. Your nerves get into a state of utter relaxation. Your husband is probably prime number one example of him just being funny and laughing and a great conversation. And then I'm talking as I normally do, and I can't shut up sometimes. But when I'm there talking to you, and then I look over and his eyes are closed and he's in that state of relaxation, and I just giggle because it happens with a blink of an eye that I look down at the client and they are almost sleeping, that I'm afraid to now continue talking. But I'm like, are they now just hearing my voice as like the TV as you fall asleep kind of an action? But they're relaxed where they don't need to speak anymore because they're now enjoying it. Their muscles are now relaxed. You have this neuromuscular sensing that it's just your brain is saying, okay, I'm not in fight and flight anymore. I am now relaxed, and I am sending a message to every part of your body to now go to sleep.
Yeah, and let her do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't happen for you immediately, it's fine. It's the reason why you keep going back, because everybody has to experience the unknown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in that beginning, it is, okay, now I know what to expect. Now, next time, I'm actually going to help her and not try to fight against her.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like either in the moment when they're first there saying, oh, I know I'm helping you, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay, you're fine. To where the second or third time they're in, they can dramatically feel a bigger, deeper stretch because they know what's going on. They know what to expect. And then now they're like, I'm not going to help you. I'm like, okay.
It's hard to especially if people are very
control
much
freaks, and I am like that. I admit it, and I know it. But it to me, it took me, I think, 3 days in.
Well, that was my question. How long did it take you when you were first taught this?
Which was so embarrassing to me, but it's so natural to me. I had the master trainer on me, giving me as an example as far as one move, and she's like, "Okay, relax." I'm like, I thought I was relaxing, and like everyone's watching, and she's like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Okay." And then she's explaining to them, "This is what you do with a client when they're not following what you do." And I'm like, "I swear, people, I am." And she's like, "You're not. Relax." And so she's like, "Okay." So she was giving me as an example of what to do when the client is bad like that. So
bad client, bad.
Exactly. So I get it. And so when moving in, it takes it, and then by the second person, and then everyone works on you. By the third day is when the one girl, she's like, "Oh, you finally
let go.
You finally
trust me."
Exactly.
No, I get it. I've had a lot of people over the years when I would do massage, and I think a lot of it is there's actually, I don't remember what it is, but in sports medicine, there is a phrase or a name for it. When you are highly trying to protect an area that was maybe in a surgery or in some type of a trauma. So people could work all over my body, but when they get into the area that bothers me on a daily basis, you do this.
And I know exactly every client that does that. The first thing I said, when I ask you if you have an injury, I know when I get to that spot, that is how you're going to react. If not, when I get to a certain spot, all of a sudden, you know when you touch somebody and they squeeze you back, well, that's what happens when we're stretching and I grab the joint and you kind of hug me without knowing that you're hugging me, because it's that tension that I know there's trauma somewhere when you say, or it could be something non-related to what it maybe wasn't an injury. It was something in your childhood or something that had happened.
That's a good point.
That so I was like, so you didn't have any shoulder issues? And they're like, no. So I know something else is behind there. So then we have to, like I was taught, to do a different approach to what's happening.
Let me reintroduce again, if you're just coming on here in the last 15 minutes of the show, Tricia Rhodes, an FST certified a therapist, again, from Xist Stretch. And if you haven't seen her on our show, we talk about the assisted stretching, again, well beyond what you can do on your own. You just brought up something that I want to address coming out of the break, and it's one thing about an actual physical ailment that they're holding on to, but what about the emotional scars of abuse and things that have happened?
Absolutely. That people think, oh, I don't have to fall to have a back issue. It's usually whatever's you're holding that is keeping that muscle
That's your
tense, and we
stress,
have
by the
to
way.
figure out what it is.
Yeah, let's discuss that. And if we're all honest, it's something that happened in the past that you've never let go of. And when she said there's an emotional release, I've heard so many people say, oh my God, why was I crying so much when I was on a massage table? And it's because you finally allowed the trust to happen of someone to touch you, especially if someone's been abused. Think about that.
Yeah.
I know people that have been sexually abused, physically abused, that don't think they could ever go in and allow someone to show them healing because they feel like even though they were the victim, they feel like they were the cause of something, right? This is a pretty deep place for us to go, but it is part of this, of trust. For all of you that are watching, we want you to release whatever that was from the past. Please don't live in that because you're giving power to the person who abused you. You have so much healing coming for you. Ooh, I got chills. You have healing coming for you. All right. We're also going to tell you about some exciting things that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. And I went to one of the places yesterday that I can't wait to show you. You know, I've been geeking out about shopping. I did it yesterday.
Was it that preview from? Oh my God, I want to know.
All right, we'll have more with Tricia Rhodes and where you can shop with us coming up in the next few weeks. Don't go anywhere.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the in spa.
So these all really do work hand in hand. We've been talking about massage therapists. I mentioned earlier, my client went stretched and then went into a chiropractor. And then you think, how can I continue it beyond the wonderful work of what Tricia and the team do? Well, I would highly recommend you look into a hot tub or a cold plunge or a sauna or a swim spa. You've been hearing us talk about Spas and More for a while now. Yeah, the extreme seat, that's a twist. That is the Michael Phelps Legend Series. So this is like a really deep tissue massage. And if you want to handle that, more power to you. I was like, that's a little too extreme for me. I wanted the Twilight series, and we have that coming to our house at the end of July. Yes, we finally pulled the trigger, and I know a lot of us, we sit there and wait, and we think, I don't know if I need it. This is not about luxury. This is about how the body is supposed to feel. So if you haven't been in, they have master spas, which I love the fact we're talking about the U.S. and the 250th birthday. USA, that's where these are all made. And so, yeah, cool corner units for those of you that might want like a 2 or 3 or a 4-seater. Maybe you want 6, or maybe you're the one that has the party and you want like 9-10 people inside. I don't know if they have them that big. We've got ours that is 8 foot, and so it would be comfortable, probably about 6 or 7 people inside of there.
Wow.
I allowed all of you to choose which one of these when we went and looked. And again, it came down to Midnight Canyon, so it's going to be that beautiful black and caramely color with the walnut base. So thank you for weighing in on that over the last few weeks. Again, thank you to Spas and More, located in Sunset Hills, spasandmorestl.com. Angie Hess, we love you, and I cannot wait for this to happen. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. We're talking about relieving tension and trauma and stress, and trauma now beyond the physical side. For those of you that have never thought about that before, and you're holding on to something from your childhood, or maybe you were in an abusive relationship, and please get out of that. You do not deserve that. You deserve a better life. And then once you realize that, it is, can I trust someone just to completely let go for them to heal me? It's probably a hard thing. And when you see some of these emotional releases, you don't know their story.
No, and nor would they probably tell me, to be honest. Everyone's usually the physical aspects. When I ask them, I don't expect them to unleash their whole past to me, but because they're only thinking of the top issue. But sometimes that really isn't the issue. So we dive deeper. A lot of conversations are happening. Yep. You get to know your person. So, and then it might just happen naturally where that trust happens and they're forgetting about why their knee actually hurts. And the knee hurts because you're moving to one side because there's a tight muscle in your glute. And why is that muscle tight? Is because you're tensing up the whole entire time, which impacts your SI and then sometimes sciatic. So we really have to kind of get you from, again, head to toe and release everything and get your circulation and the thoughts behind what the real reason is.
And again, you are seeing your present and your future and what it can become. I'll tell you what, though, in those many different sessions they do with you, it's very similar to a personal trainer. You work with a trainer for a while, we get to know all about you, your kids, your life, what you do. You have someone that comes to someone who does your hair. There's a lot of conversation that goes deeper and deeper. The same thing, though, I would imagine would happen with you. Once they get to know you and they were like, wow, she really is healing me, you may get what happened in their past. And she understands, and that it's kind of like a HIPAA thing that stays with that person.
Yeah. And it's funny because everyone kind of, like, if you've been there, somebody else is on another table, they're having a discussion, and then my client is, oh, hey, and then knows the other client because like a couple of weeks ago they were actually stretching along, and then it kind of morphs into, I know your problems, you know my problem. Like it kind of, and it doesn't have to be like that, but there are some cross things where we're just all trying to heal. So it actually relaxes people more than they think it does.
Well, and it's a good point that you just said, this is what I'm feeling, because suddenly it makes this human to human connection.
Oh, yeah.
Of, look, you're not alone.
Believe
here.
me, I've been through a lot.
Exactly, right? We're all in this together. Okay, let's see. So Nicole says, oh my goodness, are you able to fix my right shoulder? The amount of discomfort I have is ridiculous.
Yes.
Yes, Nicole, no longer do you need to deal with that. So Nicole, welcome aboard on this Wellness Wednesday. If you have not watched us yet, the answer is yes. And Nicole, if you just tuned in, 10 for $250.
Yeah.
That is the ridiculous special. They have not run that before. This is all, they wanted to do something big for America's 250th birthday. So July 1st through July 3rd, you and every single person that is watching this, you get to take advantage of that. 10 30-minute sessions for $250. So mark this. We do the whole save the date thing. Mark this on your calendar so you can take advantage of it. Don't try to do it online. You can't buy packages online because they're specials. They're not going to be regularly online. Go in to either the Arnold or the St. Louis Hills location, or call them and say, hey, I want to take advantage of these specials that Monica and Tricia have talked about. Nicole, the answer is yes. Because again, I have a lot of shoulder and neck pain from playing sports and from my car accident. So it is a huge game changer. If you don't get in, something's wrong with you. Rose said, I had physical therapy for my weak legs and leg and hip pain. All she did was give me exercises to do and made me do them in the office. It was a waste. Tricia, do you get stretched?
Oh yeah, I people say that all the time, especially in interviews or anything. They're like, "Okay, well, do you guys stretch each other?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually, Tim made an appointment with me next Friday."
Well, because the healer needs to be healed.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
I asked that a lot. Richard said, "Oh my, I wish I would have gotten up earlier." Hi, Tricia. Good to see you back on the show. Rose just said, "Kristen, we need to go." Yes. Make it a girls' outing. You absolutely do. You're all saying this, but do you pull the trigger? This is right now. There's never been a greater call to action. Right now, if you do not take advantage of that 10 for $250, I don't understand.
We have plenty of especially we had Galentine's for that, and we had mother-daughter and best friends come, and it's a hoot and a holler, but at the same time, it's funny to watch the other friend, go, oh my goodness, and the other friend's like, oh my goodness.
Well, that's what me and Jim were doing.
Yeah, Joy, do you feel that? Did you?
Yep.
Well, my goodness.
You'll get to a point though where you're finally concentrating on you because you need to take care of you. But I did keep looking back, going, look at Jim, and then finally I'm like, never mind. Jim's being taken care of by Tricia. I'm over here being taken care of by Tim. You do, Rose. You do need to get in. Christian, you need to get in. Carla, get in there, as well as Nicole. Stephanie said, trying to get in. My schedule is full. In July, I'm coming for sure. Great. Again, all of you, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the whys of stretching. Why stretching on your own may not be enough. It's not. It's a whole nother deeper level that they can go. How assisted stretching improves. We've talked about flexibility flexibility, mobility, the connection between stretching, your stress relief, your better sleep, why athletes use stretching to recover faster and perform better. We just showed Coach Abe up there throwing those massive weights around. You are a pro and a beast, but please understand that I just feel like something's going to happen to your back. I want you to take care of that. Desk workers, reversing the effects of sitting all day, which, by the way, you should be getting up and not just in that crazy posture. So this is the surprising benefits for older adults. And let's also stress all of our first responders out there. And when we say first responders, you might immediately go to what my husband does, which is the police or our firefighters, but it is doctors, it is nurses. I'm going to put teachers on the front lines, right? You're now in your break for summer. Take care of you before you get back to the kiddos.
Yeah, I have several firefighters and police, and hats off to you. But for the most part, it again, I cannot stress enough. It's the physical, what they go through, the uniform, the equipment that they have on, but the ultimate stress that they are under, either time management or even just taking care of others and not themselves, that just would benefit them 100%. There's certain times where people get on the table and like, oh, fix this. And like, there's only so much that I can do with that. But just healing the mind is the most important for first responders. If anything, I can stress that 100%. It's that 30 minutes, which doesn't seem a lot, but it is when you're there. And to see it happen with my eyes, it's the best. It's really the best.
First responders do not take care of themselves. And I tell you what, I really want you to listen when they're saying certain things. If they're, as my husband did, nearing the end of retirement, he said something really profound the other day. And he's like, I'll be good, right? And I was like, ooh, those words. There were only 4 words there, folks. I'll be good, right? And I'm like, of course, what do you mean? Of course, you can't, you're looking forward to it. And he goes, I don't know, it just all of a sudden hit me. And I said, here it is, the identity. The identity of putting on the uniform, or think of a doctor putting on that doctor's coat, or any of you in whatever role that you have. The answer is yes, you absolutely will. But start in your mind getting excited about the next phase of your life. All right, so less stress is what I see happening. Yes, it's time for you to take care of you. All you mothers that are out there, all you fathers that are out there, one of the greatest roles in life, by the way, is parenthood. And thank you for what you do with our next generation. But it's time for you to take care of you. So if you are just tuning in and you didn't see it, 10 for $250, July 1st through the 3rd. Only from Wednesday through Friday is that going to be available to you. Again, use them however you want. 30 minutes, put them together in 60 minutes. Get in for your first free stretch as well, so you're really getting 11 for that price. And there are 2 locations, and I know a lot of you have said, boy, I hope that they get more.
I know.
I know, but for right now, you can go in to Xist Stretch Arnold inside of Xist Fitness. And by the way, if you are looking for a gym, they've got a phenomenal gym there as well. It's inside of that. And then they've got the one that's in the St. Louis Hills area on Hampton, xiststretch.com or at Xist Stretch. I don't know what else we can say, right? We have been telling you and telling you and telling you. I'm telling you this, all you need to do is get on the table, and then it becomes the aha moment of how different your life can be. So think about that. So are you feeling healing today for our devotional?
I would love that.
Yeah, healing?
Yeah.
Okay, and then again, I told you, yesterday I went into Coconut Grove. I'm going to show you a little bit of that, and then I'm going to talk about the porch in Wildwood, because they're both incredible places that we'll be featuring July 14th and July 21st. We'll talk all about that, and we're going to heal you with our devotional when we return.
Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com.
Welcome back. We are in the wrap-up of the show now. There's a couple of things that I want to put on your calendar. These save the dates. The first is July 14th, which is going to be at the Porch in Wildwood. And this is the place that I was talking about with you, Tricia. You were like, is that beautiful place? Yes. That's actually what I hear from everybody when I show this. They're like, that place looks stunning. And Jan Kaufman is so excited. For all of you that have already said you're coming, I met a woman yesterday and I said, you need to come. And she goes, I'm putting it on my calendar right now. Get some girlfriends. Then I talked to a friend of mine yesterday. She's getting her girlfriends. Rose, I believe you're coming to this. Is that what I heard? And I think Chris is coming along with you as well. So this is going to be one of those Monica's Maniac Days Out. Let's make this a fun day for sure. It is July 14th, the Porch in Wildwood. And you're looking at the walkthrough. We're going to go really kind of step by step. Those pillows I've been eyeing, by the way. You want some really beautiful throw pillows, or maybe you want something custom made. They can do that as well because she is an interior designer. Otherwise, it is really just look at the throws, look at the chairs. From furnishing to jewelry to purses to candles, they really have it all. They even have that one of my favorite olive oils there, 3 silos, which is from a local place. Olive oils and balsamic vinegar.
Oh.
Yeah, there's really something for everyone.
Yeah.
Theporchwildwood.com, 636-273-3745. They're located at 16957 Manchester Road in Wildwood, Missouri. Okay, the other place is this. This is Coconut Grove, and yesterday I had a chance to meet Monica Spittler. This goes on and on. Over the next few weeks, we're going to show you so much more of the show, the store. This is just bits and pieces. And by the way, that line, you should be oohing and eyeing. Look, it looks like you're on resort. How many of those dresses did I buy?
Oh, no. Should I ask?
Coconut Grove, coconutgboutique.com. They've been open now a year. They just celebrated their year anniversary in May. On July 21st, we are going to show you the entire store, but we're also, we're also going to tell you the story of overcoming. Tricia, I'm going to tell you what, the woman that owns this store, actually it's she and her husband Scott. So Monica and Scott, shout out to you and their daughters that I had a chance to meet. What Monica has overcome from when she was younger to loss.
Oh, wow.
Beat down. You think that you would stay in that. Remember I said, don't give power to the negativity. She went through a lot and could absolutely be in such a sad state. And instead, that woman has the greatest smile on her face and has found her purpose. And she used to be a hairstylist, and now she owns this beautiful boutique that looks like you're on vacation. The entire time I was in there, I'm like, I feel like I'm on vacation. I don't feel like I'm here. Yeah. What she's done there is beautiful. So that's in Washington, Missouri, by the way. So July 14th, the Porch. July 21st, we're going to be talking with Monica in studio here as we highlight we can do business spotlights or on location shows. So that's what those mobile Monicas or business spotlights are all about. If you don't know how to have one of those for you, shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com, and we can give you more information on all that. And again, I've got other people that have talked about, can you come here? Can you come there? Yes. The other is 1,000 show coming up in the fall.
Your 1,000 show?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We need to have a huge celebration, and I came up with this idea today. What do you think about, for those that still don't get it, having Stretch involved where we do some little, mini sessions on people? Yeah, I just want to get all my sponsors involved. I want to have anybody that's been involved in our show be a part of our 1,000 show. We don't know where yet.
Okay.
I've been asking for people to weigh in. Where do you think that should be? Some suggestions are for me to go back to my roots, which is me growing up in Florissant.
Oh, wow.
Old Town Florissant, which is a beautiful area. Maybe going to my roots of Festus, where I started my radio career.
Okay.
But then yesterday, a lot of the people were like, come to Washington. So
Wow.
I'm going to ask you, you're the viewers, you're the ones that wake up with us. Where should our 1,000 show be, which is going to be right around probably November, second week in November. So I'd love to have an outside event, but you are risking it with the weather.
Yeah.
Right? But we could have tents and stuff. I want to have bands.
Oh, wow.
Everybody that's
had a party.
Absolutely. There are always parties. Let me get my healer. There are always big parties, but this is the big one. I mean, again, 500 was big for us, and now here we are up to 1,000. And we couldn't do it without, so thank you for being a part of the show, all of our sponsors, everyone that was in the past. You have played a role in this, and then all of you that wake up with us. So weigh in now or, again, from time to time over the next month. I need to make that decision, though, pretty soon, and then I'll start working on where that's going to be. But you guys are going to be involved.
Okay.
Somehow, some way. Let's see. Thank you, Monica and Tricia. Stephanie Stephanie, you are so welcome. When is Tricia at the Arnold location? Fridays.
Fridays.
Right? Richard, can my wife give me her 30-minute free session and pay it forward? Richard, stop it. Second week of November, that's around Veterans Day. Dude's Playground is always open. We've done Dude's Playground, though. We need to do something where you guys can absolutely be involved, but we have to get to a location that we haven't been to yet. But yes, Richard, I'd love for you to be represented. We have talked about getting Xist Stretch and Dude's Playground together. I want to get Garden View and Dude's Playground together. Garden View, by the way, thank you for everything that you do for us. They have 3 locations. Garden View Cares. If you are thinking after you take care of yourself and then you're like, you know what, I just want the constant someone taking care of me, that's when you go and you take a walk through and do a tour of Garden View, either Chesterfield or O'Fallon, or maybe you go to the Doherty Ferry location. This is where your life can continue when you no longer think that you can take care of yourself and you want assisted living, independent living. Maybe it's skilled care, nursing. The nurses there, the CNAs, they're absolutely amazing. And I just love talking to all of the residents because that's truly the heart, right? That's the story of, I live here. I'm playing games. I go get my nails done. I get my hair done. I'm going on trips to Jazz at the Bistro. I'm going to a Cardinals game. They're living their best life. And that is what we're talking about today on this Wellness Wednesday. So Garden View Care Centers, thank you so much for being a part of our show as well. If you hear it, we're talking about so many aspects of healing. So today we picked 100 Days of Healing, Stephen Arterburn. We're on day 30, glorifying God in weakness. Whatever you do, whether in wind or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord, giving thanks to God the Father through him. That's Colossians 3, verse 17. One of the key teachings of the Christian faith is that in whatever we do, work, play, rest, eat, drink, we should seek to glorify him. Thus, our lives, not just our words, will be a testimony to his saving love and grace. But those who are suffering from long-term or chronic ailments, you might wonder, how can I glorify God in this? Surely God cannot be praised through a life of infirmity. Faith is about overcoming and abundance, not weakness and sickness, right? Wrong. Throughout the Bible, God chose people who seemed too young, too old, too unqualified, too disabled, or too flawed, and he worked mightily through them. And he can do the same through you. You know, this really fits with what we're talking about today. Catherine Wolfe, a stroke survivor, wrote in the book Hope Heals, a true story of overwhelming loss and an overwhelming love. She said, I've learned to do many things well, to wait well, to suffer well, to cope well, to persevere well, and even to lose well. Our culture tells us to succeed, be beautiful, avoid pain, be happy. What if everything important in our lives is actually the opposite to that? The very things that we find limiting or frustrating, God can use. The question is, will we let him take all the parts of our lives, including the messy ones, the embarrassing ones, the painful ones, and implement them for his glory? Some things for you to think about today. God, I give you my weakness, my failures, and my struggles. Use everything as you will and for your will. Amen to that. Good healing messages for today. You know, we were just talking about first responders. We have a woman coming on tomorrow who is a first responder, and she wanted to put right in the front the importance of talking about mental health for them. So today or tomorrow, Rachel Stark is going to join us, but we're also going to talk about the Jimmy Awards, which is affiliated with the Fabulous Fox. So some teenagers that just recently won those awards are going to start the show tomorrow. We've got actually 3 guests. So 2 of them, and then we go into our healing of our first responders. We've got to take care of their mental health. So I'm so glad that she's going to discuss this tomorrow. That's on tap for our Thursday. Friday, Foodie Friday, Nick Bognar. He is a James Beard finalist. He's been nominated 7 times, by the way. Indo, Sado, Pavilion, and then Cow Soy Cowboy coming in the spring of 27. Doesn't that sound fun? That's on tap this week. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Tricia. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
All of you, one more time. If you haven't heard it enough, 10 for $250. Go get Stretch. Get your first Stretch free, and then take advantage of that package July 1st through the 3rd. From now till tomorrow, have a beautiful day. Take care of yourself. Know that crazy hot weather is coming next week, so be prepared for that. But also get out, give a compliment to somebody. Have a beautiful day, and remember to spread the love of kindness. Be kind, and God bless.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Xist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.